Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we currently have two empires planning to declare war on us, and I would like to get alloys to help out with that. So let's go ahead and, because we have a big alloy deficit to get our ships back online, if we want to prevent them from declaring war on us, which we kind of do, one of them at least. We definitely don't want both of them to declare on us. If we want to do that, we need to sell off some of these strategic resources and make a lot of energy credits. We're low on our volatile motes. We can also sell off food and minerals and consumer goods. And with that, we're going to buy in what alloys we can. It's not a lot, but it's about 3 months worth. Approximately. A little under 3 months worth. So that'll do for now. I do want to go through these jobs and see if we've got any jobs that need to be filled here. Any unemployment, I should say. And we don't, so that's great. I want to come down over this way and go for, like, the 6th fleet here, the weakest fleet. And let's just pour all of those alloys in there. We also don't have a leader here. We should have one for all of our fleets. Okay. So we are still bombarding, of course, up here in the Kroll Conservers. We need to get out of this war. And how's our army doing on the archives? It's working its way through there. But they do still have reserves. Okay. How's our bombardment doing over here on Font of Knowledge? 4176. That's a lot yet. Okay. So when are these guys going to fire their war? A year and a half or sooner. Noted. We're going to continue to pour alloys into the 6th fleet, and we didn't actually put this guy in charge. I want to check through all of our fleets here and make sure that we have some form of admiral for all of these, and we need so many ships, it's true. Let's see here. We need an admiral for here. There we go. Did I actually look at these admirals? I'm not sure I did. Okay. There we go. So we have admirals for all of our fleets. That's good. Now, I don't think that we actually need this many fleets here. I don't think that accelerates the bombardment. Maybe it does? This is roughly 1.2 per day or so, something like that. And let's go ahead and pull the stronger fleets out of here and temporarily move them here. Now, I may tell them to stop that. This looks like almost exactly the same pace. So these fleets aren't necessary here. We'll only have this single fleet tied down. We should try not to reinforce the, what is that? The 4th fleet? Okay. I'm not sure which 4th fleet. This 4th fleet. Right, of course. It would say in the outliner. That makes sense. So we need to continue to reinforce these fleets, right? With all of the alloys that we can get. 1205. So that is over a year away still. We have some time to prepare for it. We are improving relations with both as well, but I don't expect that to be particularly impactful. We are through the reserves on the archives. We have definitely taken some hits here. There's no doubt about that. But we landed when this was like 1500, so we're not shocked. They would not accept achieving war goals at this point. We need to just completely take them over, sadly. But we've almost wrapped this up. They've only got the 3 armies left. That's looking good. This one's morale is broken. This one's morale is breaking, but it's not broken. Now it's broken. So this is the only army doing substantial damage at this point. And its morale is almost also broken. So that's looking really, really good. We do, of course, need to continue to reinforce, which we will definitely do. We need to finish this invasion up, though.
Our warriors are victorious.
So that's done, and these guys are going to go enter orbit over Font of Knowledge. We're not ready to land here. That's going to take a while yet before we're ready to do that. They've got a lot of defense armies, and we need to deal with those. So we're going to continue to reinforce the 6th Fleet. I do want to check for jobs. I think I saw one there that needed to happen. Yep, here on this Forge World. So on the Forge World, what do we got? Well, there's no Forge World of any designation here. We're going to put in an Alloy Foundry. That'll do for the time being. What else do we have here? Nothing. I thought I saw an upgrade, but that must have been in our... like one of these in our starbases, right? I suspect that's what was going on there. Okay, thermobaric weapons looks good. What do we want here? About 270k. So kinetic weapon attack speed. Sounds good. Still the commonality and the Scanurians. We're superior and... or they're superior and equivalent. I'm not sure that the Scanurians are actually going to declare on us. The commonality of Azan's Crucible, was it? Yeah, the commonality of Azan's Crucible, I think, is much more likely. So they have this territory up here, and this territory here. Just thinking about potential combat avenues here. I mean, we make our stand in Yon. For sure. Right? That's definitely something that we do. The 6th Fleet I'm going to continue to reinforce here. So that is defending out over here. We don't have a construction ship. For some reason, I thought we had one left. I must have gotten rid of it. So let's go ahead and build a construction ship here. Cool. And now the question is, when are we going to be able to invade Font of Knowledge? That's going to require a big bombardment. I am going to come down to Seoul here and re-queue up, I want the planet, re-queue up a bunch of assault armies. It's clear that we're going to need more. So these guys will do fine. Cool. So we're getting all of these queued up. That'll do fine. Okay. I do want to check in on our fleet manager here. Yeah, we still need 100,000 alloys. That's so much. But I want to check in here and bump these up to 250. So I want to take destroyers up to 25 and cruisers to 11. That's the way this is going to go. 25 and 11. 25 and 11. 25 and 11. 25 and 11. All of these go to the same template. We have a lot of fleets, although we'd like to have more. We'll take that up again. That was 26. There we go. 25 and 11, and 25 and 11. Cool. So that should be all of these fleets ready to go. The 6th Fleet needs a lot of work, no doubt about that, but we're working on it. We're getting there. Slowly. So now we need 135,000. I do want to go in and sell again here. These prices have recovered somewhat. Emphasis on somewhat. And we'll do something like that. That allows us to buy in a few alloys. Not many, but a few. Okay. We need a lot more alloys. 11/12/05, so like 10 months. Our fleets are repairing. What is this 14th fleet? Where are you supposed to be? 2 frigates. Who's missing 2 frigates? Do you have any frigates? No, let's just move you in here. Cool. That'll do for now. That 14th fleet definitely shouldn't exist. So we'll go ahead and do that for the time being. Our repairs are finishing up. Our gateway was just constructed. That'll be fine. The real question is, how is this going? They would not currently accept this. They have 22 reasons not to accept this. And that's not going to get better. It really isn't. Okay. How are the Skenurians going here? Equivalent on all fronts. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. We are continuing to slowly reinforce. It's too slow. That's very clear. I want additional alloy production. What do we got for jobs? This industrial world here? We're swapping it over to a forge world and building an industrial district. That may put us negative in consumer goods. We'll see. Anything else? Nope. Okay. It did not put us negative in consumer goods. Excellent.
Blocker cleared.
We will continue to reinforce our fleets as quickly as we can, but it's not very quick. If we could get this bombardment over, that would help a lot. But this is going to take a while. There's no doubt about that. So how are things going with the Skenurians in terms of... Yeah, that's not really going to change. Got it. What could we potentially do here? We could send somebody to build a spy network on them. And same with the commonality of Azan's Crucible. We can do the same thing over here. The relative code breaking is challenging. We have good intel, though. So this is 6 months away, right? And the question is, how realistic is it that they're actually both going to declare on us? If they both declare, it's a major problem. If only one of them declares, there's a possibility that we're able to deal with it. Well, if it's the Skenurians, we can probably deal with it. If it is the commonality of Azan's Crucible, problems ensue. They're using matter disintegrators in addition to Stormfire autocannons. So that's a good setup. We don't have access to matter disintegrators, do we? I don't think we do. Getting access to that would be huge. No, we don't have access to matter disintegrators. We would probably steal that setup if we had access to it. It's a good one. They've got the autocannons for tearing through shields, and then the matter disintegrators for everything else. This Forge world does require planetary administration, and we will put that in. We will continue to reinforce our fleets. We're going to be close to our fleet cap, noted, but we need a lot more. So what can we do to get additional alloys? We can sell a bunch of minerals, and a bunch of food, and a bunch of consumer goods. Then we can sell 1 tick of each of these again, now that prices have somewhat recovered, and use that to buy in additional alloys. But alloys are tremendously expensive right now. It is what it is. We need the alloys. So we're going to continue to reinforce our ships as quickly as we possibly can. We're also working on bringing up our alloy production as much as we can there. But there's only so much we can do. Only so much. In terms of our actual fleet strength, it's actually looking reasonable. But we have a long ways to go still. Okay. Checking in on this bombardment. It is 3562. Okay. Wait. They're no longer planning to declare on us. I guess we got powerful enough. Okay. That's huge. That's really, 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 really good. We definitely didn't want the commonality to declare on us. I was somewhat ambivalent about the Skenurians. Did they get into other wars? Or are they just no longer interested? I think we're now strong enough to... Well, the Skenurians are actually attacking the Uvzant. Wait, was that an offensive or a defensive war? Defensive. The Uvzant are attacking the Skenurians. We may end up coattailing this. We don't care about their vassals. They are in a defensive... Well, that's the Skenurians. Hang on. The Uvzant. They're in a defensive pact with the commonality of Azan's Crucible. So, because we're scared of the commonality of Azan's Crucible at this moment, that means that we don't coattail it. Much as I would love to. The Han Reconquerors are potentially something that we can go after. Or perhaps the Karelians. Now, they're in a defensive pact with the Skenurians. We'll need to find a way to break that. We'll see how this war plays out. This war definitely changed things. Is the commonality also in a war? Yes, they're involved in this. Presumably the Uvzant brought them in. So the same war actually meant that both of these threats were no longer interested in fighting us. It had nothing to do with our building ships. Well, maybe a little to do with our building ships. But it's mostly the fact that they got embroiled in another war. So that gives us time to build all of this up and to work up our alloy production. So that is all very, very good. We're delighted by that. That's amazing. Very lucky. I do want to check some of these colonies over here. Okay, we definitely need to put in a gene clinic. And we'll put in a monument. Over here, we've already got it. Here, we need a monument. That's good to go. Game is a little laggy right now due to that war, but that's to be expected. Of course, we've got brother, mother. Okay, this needs a monument. We're negative in our unity right now, so that's completely fine to have these monuments get built. And a gene clinic here as well. This is going to need a gene clinic and eventually a monument, but we're not there yet. We're going to put in the gene clinic here as well. Cool. Okay, so this is set up as a factory world right now. We're probably going to change these over eventually. But for the moment, that seems reasonably fine. How are we doing on this? Now that we no longer have to worry about that war that was brewing, how are we doing on finishing this war? Still needs work. Okay. I think we don't want to start up a new war for a while. We want to get this finished, right? We want to get that done. We want to keep an eye on how this war changes the balance of power. We're also going to get a bunch of refugees out of this war. So this war is actually a really good thing for us on multiple levels. We're going to get pops, which we can put to work. It buys us time to rebuild our forces and to build up our alloy production. And it may actually change the balance of power. This is largely a galactic war between the big powers, right? I mean, we're one of the big powers. I wouldn't call us the biggest power. We could potentially think, if this war goes long enough, we could potentially think about taking over the continents. That's an interesting thought, actually.
Blocker cleared.
I'm not sure how we would want to do that just yet. I'd have to give that a little bit of thought. But I do want to come over here. Oh, this is so laggy. Okay, I want to come over here and find the place where we just cleared that blocker. It was over here. Okay, no problem there. Beautiful. So we're going to continue to reinforce our ships. Absolutely. They Okay, psionic powers, sure. They are going to be weakening themselves, although in the end, one side will come out a little stronger and the other a little weaker. This is very good for us. This means that we can go in and attack the weaker side.
Incoming transmission.
And then ourselves become strong enough, hopefully, to attack the side that wins that. I don't think we're interested in this, are we? No, we're not. We're not interested in that research agreement. But we're getting a lot of refugees. I love it.
Construction complete.
Our unity is not necessarily the highest, but that's to be expected. I want to check in on our surveyor here. When can we do that? Not for a while is the answer. Okay. Zadran refugees coming in and Uthabulan refugees. I like it. So we need to continue scanning for additional jobs. Like, for example, this one. This Forge world requires a specialist job. That is incredibly easy. We did just dip negative in our energy credits. I wonder how real that is. We've got this mining station here. We could make this into a trade station to help with that. So I'm okay with that. That would mean that we would put in, like, realistically, we'd put in a trade district is what we would put in here. So that looks good. This war is giga-laggy, but that's late game Stellaris for you. Okay. So all those jobs are looking fine for now. So we're going to need to see who ends up winning this war. This war is very important. We don't want to get involved in the war. It looks like the Ubzant are winning it, and with the commonality of Azan's Crucible and the Kingdom of Yonderim on their side, that's not very surprising. Both of these are very powerful. So yeah, I'm not shocked about that. As the Karelians and the Scanurians get weaker, we're going to look to potentially coattail them. For the moment, I don't know how realistic it is. Well, right now, it's definitely not realistic to do that. Right? Definitely not realistic to do it right now. But give it a year, and we might have an opportunity to coattail the Scanurians. If we do that, that'll be huge. Absolutely huge. I would love it. So, for the moment, of course, we are still... Well, we actually just got 3 more refugee pops. I love it. We're still working on getting this war wrapped up. How are we doing here? They still have 3,000 in their garrison. That is insane. We're going to let that continue to go. Are we done with our additional recruits yet? No, we've still got a bunch in the queue. So I'm going to let that go for now. We've got 17 here. We're going to just keep working on that. That seems fine. We're going to need to increase our energy credit income at some point. We are working on that somewhat. So that'll all be fine. Do we have any unclaimed trade? Actually, there's 5 energy credits right there. That's nice. But do we have any unclaimed trade up in... If I can scroll... Wow. That lag, though. Okay. This is the next endgame crisis.
Situation log
I was wondering
updated.
when that was going to hit. It feels like it should have by now, but sure. Okay, I'm just checking up here to see if there's any ungrabbed trade. The only that I see is 2 here in Iskelion. That's not really worth going after. So that is what it is. We're going to see where that next endgame crisis ends up spawning. We should be able to handle it, to be honest. Although, I would definitely like to get our fleets fully reinforced by then. I don't know that that's going to be very realistic. How much are we making now? Still 1144. I feel like that should have come up some. But we are still working on some constructions. And our fleets are not in a ideal location, right? So I'm going to move them back to Seoul for right now. All of them except the 4th fleet. Okay, there we go. So they're going to move back there where they're going to take less resources in upkeep. Tepedoran refugees have arrived. They are indeed welcome here. Fantastic. We will continue to reinforce our fleets. And we're going to head back and have most of our fleets take less in terms of upkeep. So that'll be fine, and we'll see where this ends up spawning. There's a reasonable chance that it spawns in our territory. Like, I'd call it almost like a 33% chance. We'll see. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see where this next endgame crisis ends up spawning. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Emlohan80, Kentogan, Nix Marty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Spartan News, Unisil, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all this time. Oh my. Apparently we're just hello everybody and what? No, I'm kidding. I'll see you all next time.